Hey, it's Tiffany. Welcome back to Mellow Vibes. It's Friday. It doesn't feel like a Friday. And I don't know what that even means, being that I don't have like things that I'm doing. I have things that I'm doing, but it's not like I go to work every day or whatever. But yeah, I kind of just realized it was Friday. So I am so behind schedule. I actually got up at a good time after my alarm, but still a good time. But I took a while. I made some like sea moss gel and froze most of it. I have some in the fridge. And then I made nice cream, which has some sea moss in it. and and then I made these energy balls with like maca. Well, no, it was made with cacao, dates, cinnamon, ginger, flax, and black rice, some peanut butter, maple syrup. I rolled it in maca and flax seeds and some chai spice mix that I make. So that took a while. And then I really haven't done anything since. I just wanted to relax and finish watching Married at First Sight. So I intended to work on a song today, so that's why I just came up here, but I wanted to make a video real quick. Yeah, so this is my new lounge space. It doesn't look like anything from the camera. But and I'm on my phone and my computer, so I hooked up my phone to my laptop, and so it should be clearer than just the laptop, but I don't think it's as clear as just the phone. Anyway, it's an app, so it's on both devices. Anyway, so I've always had like a super small room, and for the most part, I think when I had my last apartment here, I had a big room and extra space, but because I know how to work in small spaces and I know how to make things functional, I think it was like 12 or 13. I think it was 13. Family trip with my aunt and uncle and cousins in Florida, and I remember we were trying to pack this rental car that was just too small, and I'm like, "There's no space." And I'm like, "No, there's space. I'm gonna make space." And I was called the space maker, so like, because I can always make space. So, which is probably why I'm really attracted to tiny houses, and I want to have one at some point. But yeah, I had actually a working desk back here, and I just moved it out like a week or two ago, and because like I don't need to work at a desk right now, and so I was like, I'm gonna make it a lounge space. So I have like my big cushion here, and I covered it with all these scarves and pashminas that I don't really wear anymore, and I was gonna give them away, and then I got the idea to like, just use them as kind of blankets and drapery and stuff. And I have like my, I've had this for so long. It's a ottoman, storage ottoman. I had this since way back in Philly, probably 10 years now, actually. And a throw and some pillows. And I have like my books, my notebook here. I was here when I was doing the Confessions Money Boot Camp last Friday, which is insane. It doesn't seem like it was a week ago. Like just a week ago. Seems like it was a while, and I still haven't finished. And I'm like, why am I rushing myself to finish? Like, go slow and easy. Like, I'll have access to these master classes forever. So I'm still like riding off the last one I watched on Monday. So I will take it slow. So I am, like I said, about to work on a song, but just wanted to check in. These are my birthday balloons are still here from, oh my gosh, my birthday was exactly 4 weeks ago. It was Friday. Insane. I've been 36 for 4 weeks, and that sounds super crazy. And I always say this, like, I probably wouldn't believe that I'm 36 if I didn't remember at least one thing from every year of my life. So yeah, so we'll see how long these last. Anyway, so this is like the back of my Expedite, and I really struggle with if I'm keeping this or not. Am I bringing this with me when I move? I've had this since I moved into my apartment in Philly in 2013. Bought it from IKEA, put up by myself. Like I've had to build and break down this at least 4 times, and it's every time I do, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. So I wanted to leave it, especially because there are like smaller storage things now where it could be like maybe just 6 squares, and then I'm like, I could buy multiple and stack them on top of each other, and it wouldn't be as complicated as one huge structure where it's a 5 by 5, like 5 squares by 5. The whole thing is it's 6 feet, 6 feet. Yeah, but then I'm like, I don't know. I spend money on something when I have something already. That's my frugal side. And then like I have all these things I bought for the structure. So these are like 13 by 13, like where I put like my clothes and stuff. I don't know if you can see that, or different things. So these are 13 by 13. Is it gonna fit in other things? Like they do not make this structure anymore. And I'm like, they have stuff that is similar, but I'm like, is it gonna fit in it? If I wanted to do that, these two, which I can't pull out, they're drawers on the other side. Well, these 3 are drawers. I mean, I definitely got my money's worth out of it. So I think I spent $200 on this, and then each drawer set was $25, so $75 for the drawer, and then I think each bucket square was like $10. And being that I again had it for 9 years, we'll see what happens when the time comes if I feel like taking this thing apart. And then I just put this up. I've had it in the attic for 2 years at this point. And I just put this up again. It's one of my favorite things. It's a bamboo curtain, and it's like palm trees and a sunset. Sunsets are like my favorite. I always have pictures of sunsets. I have a few pictures of sunsets actually that I have, again, packed up. I don't know if I've said that I live in my family home since, it's so crazy. It's actually like over 2.5 years. I didn't intend to be here this long. I didn't even intend to be in Massachusetts for this long. So when I moved out of my apartment downtown, I was living in a condo by myself. And that was like the first time that I lived by myself, because for the 4 years that I had my apartment in Philly, I lived with roommates. Like I had one roommate each year. I just switched roommates each year. And then 3 years in Philly before that, I was living with family. Like I lived with my grandma for a few months, and then I lived with my uncle for a couple years. So yeah, when I left my apartment, I just knew I wanted to get out. It was a really nice condo. It was just like kind of in a shady building. And I was just like kind of over it. And I was over not having outside space. And I'm reminded of that all the time. Like whenever I get like one of the Airbnbs I had just the other week in Santo Domingo, like it didn't have like a balcony. There was like a door to a rooftop, but it was like locked. Like you couldn't get in it. So I'm like having outdoor space, I realized is super important to me, which is why I'm glad I moved back home right before the pandemic hit, because I couldn't go out on the deck and, having outdoor space. But in my apartment, I was on the 6th floor, and there's literally no way to get out. It was on my list to buy like a rope ladder, like if ever there was a fire, because like I'd just be stuck. So outdoor space is important. So anyway, when I left, I was like, I'm either gonna move back home or move with my friend, because my friend who threw me the balcony party, it's a super nice apartment. She's been there for a long time, and her roommate had just left. So she never got another roommate, but she's like, yeah, we can live together. And then, so sometimes I'm just like, why didn't I move in with my friend? But it was between like the cats that she has, and I'm not a cat person, and the fact that like, okay, well, if I'm gonna pay rent, I felt like I should be paying rent to my family and paying down mortgage, so that was the practical side. So anyway, so I've been here back in my room. This is not my childhood room, because we moved here when I was 16. So almost 20 years. It was October. October seems to be the month for moving, because we moved here October. I moved to my last apartment in October. I'm probably going to move to Tulsa in October. So it's still like my ceiling is still painted the same that I did when I was 16. And actually my friend that said I can move in with her, my friend that threw me the balcony party. She helped me paint my room when I was 16. Like, we've been friends for that long. I painted my ceiling. I'm not about to show it right now, but it's blue, and it's making a blue sky, and around my lights is the sun. And so when I moved out, and then one of my little sisters moved in here, because my little sisters would share a room, which is the bigger room. And so when the sister under me moved in here, I was like, you can change whatever you want, just don't change my ceiling. So yeah. So anyway, when I moved back, I painted the walls and all that stuff. Not the same colors I had when I was 16, but just white and the accent wall of turquoise. Turquoise is my thing. It's one of my brand colors. And so, yeah. So anyway, I wish it looked like more on camera, but it's actually like really cute and comfy. And I threw my rug down and everything. This rug that I had in my dining room in my last apartment. So, okay, so I think that's about it. This was kind of long. I don't know why. And I just wanted to check in, and I'll see you another time. I don't think there was really anything else. I just really had it on my agenda to like show my lounge space, but I don't know how much you can really see it. So anyway, whatever. I have to get, oh, this is one of the books. Let me just show you one of the books. Actually, both of the books are here. So I have my books over here. Some of them, a lot of them are in the attic, but I try to switch them out so I can get to all that I haven't read. But it's the book I'm reading, Celestine Prophecy and Parable of the Sower. So I'm reading both of these. Like I said, I'm mostly listening to this on the audio version, and I'm reading this. I haven't read this one in a few days, so I need to, that should be the next one I do. Yeah, taken to putting them in like plastic. That's from my mom. She always put her books. She always puts her books in like a Ziploc bag or something. And I have these cards that I haven't gotten to yet. So I did this academy early in the year, and then we have mindfulness sessions. And I attended a mindfulness session. Oh, this was the beginning of like a lot of stuff in May. But anyway. One of the people who did the mindfulness session that day used these cards, and I was like, I have to get them. So this was one of my gifts to myself for last month. So there's a guide to it. I haven't gone to all these. They are really just creative cards and cards on working with your intuition. It's literally just a bunch of random, maybe I should just open it and show you. A bunch of like shapes. Oh, I could show you the back right now. A bunch of like pictures, colors, some are like geometric shapes. It's just like when you kind of just pick a card that you gravitate to and talk about like how it makes you feel looking at it, like what vibe it gives you, basically. And then the person who's leading the session like read what, like there's a story that goes along with each card, and then they read it. And I couldn't pick one card. He put up 4 cards. I couldn't pick one. I picked 2 that I was really like equally gravitated towards. And the feelings that I had after hearing the stories that he read like were spot on. So they're like cards for your intuition. So like how I felt with each card and what it like brought up for me, and what I was getting from it was literally spot on for both of them. And I was like, I need these cards. And what really stuck with me was like, well, a few things stuck with me. But one was to create balance. And gosh, I think it was a few days before like everything kind of just went down, but like it was to create balance. And so I feel like that's what I'm doing in this time right now. Like one of my friends from the academy was just like, you know, all these things happen for a reason, and somebody else said, you know, like it's kind of forced resting period. And so I'm trying to create balance, trying to create more communication with people, friends and family, and but still time for myself. I always feel like I'm being pulled in so many different directions. Like so many people like want all these things for me or want me to be a certain way, and I'm just like, I just need a great balance. So yeah, that's all I have. see you another time. Thanks for watching. Peace and mellow vibes.